Hello everyone, my name is TJ and welcome to my channel, Just a Peachy Life. If you enjoy meal prep, freezer meals, recipes, and trying to make life a little easier for yourself during the week as far as your meals and family planning is concerned, then consider hitting that subscribe button so you can follow along on my content. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a couple breakfast ideas that you can put in your freezer to make it more convenient in the mornings, especially during the weekdays where you're trying to get everybody out the door and need to get them fed, and it just makes it a lot easier. You can grab something from the freezer, heat it up in the microwave, and get on with your day. So first here I am taking some potatoes and just chopping them up to throw in the oven to roast them. This step can be substituted with frozen hash browns or some type of potato, frozen potato that you don't have to use fresh potatoes in this. I just had a bunch on hand that were starting to get towards the end of their shelf life, so I decided to chop those up and roast those all up. But normally I do use the bags of frozen hash browns. So what we're going to be doing with these today is making some breakfast bowls. So it is, have you ever had at a restaurant a skillet meal? So it's usually some form of hash browns on the bottom with meat and or veggies, and then it's topped with eggs and cheese, and that's what we're going to do. We're just going to make them as little breakfast bowls. So I have the potatoes all chopped up now. I'm going to add some olive oil and salt and pepper. And then give them a little toss around and get them in the oven. And here they are after they've been all roasted. Did them in a 400-degree oven, probably for about 40 to 45 minutes. So they get nice and crispy. So now for these ones I'm going to be using some breakfast sausages. So I'm just taking the length and chopping them up into little bite-sized chunks. So we get those all chopped up, and then we're going to throw them in a frying pan, get them cooked, and with some vegetables, and that will be our meat and veggie portion of our breakfast bowls. So I just have a frying pan heating up, dumping all of the little chunks of sausage into a hot frying pan, give them a little toss around, and then I'm likely gone off to get some vegetables, which I should have already had on hand, but apparently I wasn't prepared enough. Alright, so here's my mushrooms and onions that I have ready, and I'm throwing those in with the sausage. I also had some leftover ham slices in my fridge from making breakfast sandwiches, so I also just diced those up and threw them in with it as well. So give it a little extra bulk. So just get those all cooked up, and then I'll set them aside in a bowl to cool as we move on to the next step. So here it is. Once it's all cooked, just set it aside in a bowl, and now we're going to go and get all of our eggs cracked so we can start scrambling up our eggs. I think I ended up doing about 2 dozen here because I made quite a few breakfast bowls. I will spare you from watching me crack every egg, so I will fast forward now. So here's all the eggs cracked into the bowl. I'm just going to use a whisk and scramble them up. And to that, I'm going to add some salt and pepper, which will be coming here in a second. Make sure you get all your yolks broken in there. So there's the pepper and salt. And then I'm also going to add a splash of milk, which I find helps make them a little fluffier when you cook them. There's the milk. And then this mixture is just going to get poured into a hot pan, and we're going to slowly, gently scramble them up. Okay, so here's all the breakfast bowls I have lined up. I have a dozen here that I'm going to make. And so far I have in there the roasted potatoes at the bottom. And now I'm going to add some of the sausage, ham, mushroom, onion mixture on next. And making sure I get it on all of them. And looking back, I didn't think I was going to have so many bowls, so I probably would have and should have cooked more meat and veg. So now I know for next time. I think I just didn't realize I had so many potatoes that I was trying to use up. So anyways, live and learn. Happy still love them. All right, so next up we're going to add the scrambled eggs. So there's the big frying pan filled with scrambled eggs. So I try to do about 2 eggs per container. So I had 24 eggs and made 12 bowls. Now, of course, once they're all scrambled up, you're never going to know exactly how much you're getting in each one unless you wanted to weigh them. But I don't have the time or patience for that. And as long as, they look relatively similar and, filling enough, then that's fine with me. All right, so once you have all of your eggs on, next we're going to end it all with a nice dose of cheese on top. And I generally use sharp cheddar, or old cheddar as it's called in Canada. Sometimes it'll be mixed with mozza as well. It just depends what I have on hand, basically. And you want to make sure you get a nice amount on there. And then that's everything that's going to be in our breakfast bowls. So I'll just show you here what they look like when they're all done. So here they are, all 12 of our breakfast bowls, all finished, and now they're ready to get covers, be labeled, and put into the freezer. So when I make a bunch of these, I'll usually put up to 4 of them into the fridge so that, they're still good for another at least 4 days refrigerated, and then the balance will go into the freezer. All right, so next up we are going to make some pancakes to put into the freezer. So pancakes are certainly a simple thing to make, but they're a lot more convenient to have them already made in your freezer to just grab 1 or 2 when you want them and throw them in the microwave or the toaster. So today I'm just using the complete mix where you just add water. You can certainly make them from scratch. I do that sometimes as well. Just depends on how quickly I want to get things done. And today was one of the quick days. So sometimes I will do these on a big griddle and make a whole bunch at once. Or if I'm not doing a ton of them, I will use our little pancake maker here. And you'll see here in a minute why. It's very cute. All right, so I'm going to take some of this butter flavored spray to put on my surface so that nothing sticks. And ta-da, it is Mickey. So we love Disney in our house. So I saw this online one day and I had to order it. So, and it makes a really nice size pancake as well that you can just eat one and be quite full. So I just use an ice cream scoop to help me get out a decent amount. And then I fill in where all of the Mickey outline is on the pancake maker. Close her up, and it only takes probably about 3 to 4 minutes per pancake to make these. I make them pretty thick, so if you make thinner ones, it wouldn't take quite as long, but I really like these ones. So I'm just going to keep going here, spraying and putting the batter in. So I made several just plain ones, and then I started making some with add-ins. So the next ones I'm doing here have cut up strawberries and blueberries. And then the ones that I make after those have strawberries and chocolate chips. And then I remembered the hard way why I never put chocolate chips in my pancake maker. They are very, very hard to get out. So at the end of it all, I made some more plain ones that ended up with like smears of chocolate on it from the remnants of the chocolate chips that just wouldn't come off of the off of the pan. Anyways, live and learn. So from now on, I'm not going to add any chocolate into my pancake or waffle maker, which I already knew, but for some reason I wasn't thinking that day, I guess. So here they are all finished. I have, so that's 7 breakfasts I have ready now for a quick and easy. I have 6 that are going into the freezer, and then I kept one out for Chloe to have that morning for breakfast. So I just stack them in my container to fit nicely in my larger containers, and then I just crisscross back and forth to make them fit with some parchment or wax paper in between so that they don't stick together in the freezer, and that way you can easily just pop one out whenever you want them and throw it in the microwave or in the toaster oven. So it's quite convenient. So now I'm just finishing up Chloe's breakfast, slicing up an orange to put with her pancake, and then she'll be all set for the day, and I'll have a bunch in the freezer for another morning where none of us need to really think about breakfast, just grab and go. So that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button along with the bell notification so you always know when we put up a new video.